What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, Talk It Up with Cindy and Jerry. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, sorry. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there?
Okay, so today's episode is interesting because last week's episode we talked about, the Puerto Rican festival and everything. So I told him let's keep it in that.
Yeah, we're staying the course of Puerto Rico.
So today we're going to talk about spices, spicing it up.
So yeah, she was surprised when we talked about it. I said we had adobo in the house, which she said, well, you had adobo.
I was like, you had adobo, you didn't have sofrito in the fridge.
No, we didn't. And maybe
actually, they have fake sofrito in the fridge.
We did.
You know how you go to the store?
The
and
jar.
They have the jar stuff.
Yes.
That's fake.
So
all you real Puerto Ricans out there.
So now, again, my mom did make Spanish food. It just didn't have that full flavor of how your family made it. Mm-hmm. But she made rice and beans, pork chops and stuff. But she did cook with adobo. And I told her because I used to, when I make the hamburgers, I would, sprinkle adobo on it. Mm-hmm. We didn't do something. So that I told her. She was really surprised. But then you did recall seeing adobo.
I did. I was like, you guys, because when we started dating and stuff like that, I would go to and cook for your mom sometimes.
Yes.
So it was hard for me because I was used to like traditional spice.
There'd be a tub of the green.
It would be in a butter jar because as Puerto Ricans we don't throw away the butter jars or everything. We use it for our sofrito and for our leftovers.
Yeah.
So my aunt, my mom's, we all used to make our sofrito from scratch. My grandmother taught us all. So we didn't buy the stuff. We would make ours with culantro, cilantro, pimientos. So our food would taste different. So he noticed that actually it smelled different.
It smelled different
when you're cooking.
Because I don't even think my grandmother. Because I go to my grandmother's house and you open the fridge and you're like, "What is this?" I don't ever recall seeing the sofrito tub. I'm gonna call it
or garlic tubs.
In some butter. Parquet, whatever.
Or tubs of mashed up garlic.
Yeah, I don't recall that because oh wow, it smells. You know what I'm saying? That never happened. Mm-hmm. But we did have adobo. And I guess, yes, we had that jar, which I probably never even touched or used. But adobo was there, and if I was making hamburgers, sprinkle adobo on it. It was just, my mom told me it has all the seasonings in it. Mm-hmm. That was it, and the hamburgers tasted good. No. But in her house...
In my mom's house... Well, every
house had adobo.
They all had adobo.
Now, here's another question. Did my mom have, and I don't recall...
Sazon?
Yeah, she did. Because she made yellow rice.
But she always had like the little box, and it wasn't the sazon that we used. She just had the regular sazon. She didn't have the sazon with achote. She didn't have the sazon with the recaito in it. She just had the regular one.
Yeah.
As to where we buy the different ones. Sometimes we actually make our own sazon.
Yeah, no.
So it's very different.
Yeah.
So we were joking about it the other day because he goes, I don't see any Puerto Ricans with spice racks.
No.
So I was like, we make our own spices.
No, because you know why? Because when we bought this house, I think we put it
Somebody bought us a spice rack.
I think we made it, had it on the list. And somebody bought us a spice rack. And it has like, all these spices. And I realized...
Maybe out of that we use 3.
You don't really use all these spices.
No, I use 3.
You don't. You just have a couple of things. The salt, the pepper.
I would use the oregano.
Yeah. Your primary spices.
Yes, all the other stuff, no.
And adobo. And that would be it.
That's it, yes.
And my kids don't even use adobo.
No.
Jeremy.
Oh, Angelica does.
Angelica does?
Yes.
Okay, because our oldest son, he likes to cook.
But he cooks Asian. That's what it is. There's no adobo in Asian cooking.
Yes. But if he does any type of cooking, he's using the flavor, whatever.
He's using
Asian
spices. Mixes and stuff like that. Yeah, he's not using adobo. He don't use
my sauce. No. Soy sauce. He's doing all these things.
No, it's
totally different. Is there a in the Asian culture, is there like the adobo version of theirs? Like
possibly, because he uses a lot of Asian
he uses a lot of separate things.
Yeah, he does.
He never says, hey,
no, he has his own stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He has his own stuff. He buys peanut oil. He buys rice wine vinegar. He buys his own mixes.
Or, we're in the store.
Sauces.
Right. Or we're in the store, and I'm like, hey, does he need any of these things?
Yeah. Stir fry mix or yeah. So he cooks Asian. And his Asian cooking is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it smells
really good.
We talked about this. So, it's a Saturday night. We're upstairs listening to some music videos, and all of a sudden, it's like 1:30 in the morning. You don't want to eat at 1:30 in the morning.
No, but he's younger. He's always eating.
Yeah, and the whole house smells with the stir fry, and it smells really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
going out there with a bowl.
Can I have a taste? I'm more the traditional. I buy tubs of garlic,
Yes.
and I will put it in the food processor.
Yeah.
Or in the Ninja with olive oil and a little bit of pepper, and I will have my mashed garlic in the fridge for whenever I need to cook. And my sofrito too. When I'm making sofrito, he goes in the kitchen. Oh my god, it smells so good. I'm just grinding down herbs and peppers and stuff like that.
Again, I don't recall that ever being done in my mom's house or my grandmother's house. Like my mom used to visit my grandmother. She didn't go back home with
tubs of stuff. Oh yeah, because he was like, "What's in the tub?" Sofrito. He's like, "Why?" I said, "Cause."
And we were not big believers of leftover foods.
No,
you guys were, and at a certain point, well, first of all,
you mean leftover food at events?
Just leftover dinner. Now, because you were doing it.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. But
And nobody was really eating it. And our son doesn't like.
He doesn't like leftovers.
Second day.
He won't like day-o. The only time he likes day-o rice is when he's making Chinese food.
Yeah,
that's it.
So she, in the first maybe good 7-10 years,
I used to get so mad.
She had to throw out stuff. Nobody's eating. I'm like, I didn't grow up.
We grew up on. My mom would cook food for 2 days. So we would have the same thing for 2 days if she had to work. So
now, don't get me wrong. She'll make chicken, and maybe we'll have the same chicken the next day, or she just because we buy it at Wegmans, and she will have maybe the lemon. She'll add some other flavor to that chicken.
Yeah.
But as far as leftover stuff,
no,
she stopped. She just I'm not doing this.
I don't do that anymore. I don't because they will leave.
Oh my gosh, it would always be a big pot of rice.
Yeah, and then. I would put either will put the pot in the fridge. I stopped doing that because I was old, so I started putting it in a bowl and putting it in the fridge, and they would forget it, and it would sit there for a week. And I'm like, for that, I don't make a lot of food anymore. Actually, I don't even make rice anymore. I make rice maybe twice a week.
Twice a month.
I mean, twice a month. Yeah. But as for back to our topic in the spices, I think the spices change the flavor of the food.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, listen, when I ate your family's rice and beans, I knew there was a difference of my rice and beans, my mom's house and stuff like that. But yours is more authentic.
It is very because when we took him to the island, he goes, "This tastes like your family's cooking."
Yeah, like, no doubt. Even my youngest son, he's very picky in food. He was like, "This chicken was amazing. These chicken, tenders or whatever you want to call it, chicken nuggets." Yeah, and well, the chickens over there on the island. And not being poked with all these hormones and propped up to be bigger and fatter. No, they're whatever their normal chicken looks like, and then they cook it, and it's just
he eats a lot more when he's on the island. He eats more variety.
He does.
You notice that when we go to the island, he eats different things.
That's where he starts to learn how to eat bagels over there.
Bagels. He actually started eating pound cake. Everything tastes different to him on the island. He says it. He goes, "It tastes different here." I'm like, yeah, it does taste different. So I don't know if it's just. The seasonings, the spices, the earth, the ground, because even yuca and things like that, it tastes different over there. Right. So he likes it. I like it too.
No, I'm not denying it. And the food over there in the island is really, really good. You know what I'm saying?
So my stuff, some of it tastes similar to the island, not a lot. But when we were at the festival, some of the food tasted.
The chicken had the flavor like I expected.
Some things didn't. Yes.
Yeah. When I was in Puerto Rico. I saw one of those guys, with the chicken pinchos. How did you say pinchos? Yeah.
Pinchos.
I have one. Me and my niece were sharing one, and when I got it, I'm like, "Hey guys!"
Oh, she even said it. She said it was really, really good.
This just tastes just like.
But even the food. So we went to Mama Juana's, and that food was phenomenal. That rice was traditional. Yeah. Oh, I gotta make fun of him again. So we ordered an appetizer. We ordered some chicharrón de pollo.
Oh, because
some boneless chicharrón de pollo. So, yeah, my niece's partner, she's not Puerto Rican, but she's fully absorbed
the culture more than I.
She's in love with the food. Yeah. She's actually learned to cook it.
She was singing. Even your cousin was like, "Yo, we're just singing." She was singing the verses in Spanish. I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, she's not Puerto Rican, so
I said, "You go out."
Yeah, go out. She's absorbed it. She's learned to cook Spanish food and everything. So we ordered the appetizer that comes to the table, and she picks one up, and she eats it, and she whispers in Steph's ear, and somebody goes, "Yeah, I guess they are kind of like that." So.
But she said it the same way I said it. I go, "That's what I called it. I call it Spanish chicken nuggets."
Yeah,
it is.
She said,
what do you call it? Chicharrón
de pollo.
But I'll never forget the one time I told her, you know, she was getting Spanish food. I said, yeah, get me
Can you get me Spanish chicken nuggets? I was like,
I-
what?
I said probably something to the fact that, because I forget how to say that word at that time. I don't know what you call it, but it's like Spanish chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I was
she
like,
was
what?
like, what? I don't know, they're like little pieces of meat. Sometimes they have bones, sometimes they don't. I don't know. I call them Spanish chicken nuggets. She's like,
like,
"Did you mean
Chicharrón de pollo.
if that's what it's called?" Yes. So when Allie tasted it, I guess she never had that.
Not like that, no.
She was just like, "What?" I'm like, "That's okay. I call it Spanish chicken nuggets." You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
And she
But
hasn't even
now it's
tried the
gonna
other
happen.
ones.
What happened?
She hasn't even tried them with the bone in. I like the ones with the bone in because it's more crispier. It has the
Yes.
skin on it.
Yes.
You know, we had the
The one
boneless
which I was surprised, but it did say bonus. I
Yeah,
did recall. it.
yeah. And she loved it. And she was like, Spanish chicken nuggets. We all started lying, laughing at the table.
That's it.
We was like, uh-oh. It's just
She's
like
probably
Jerry.
gonna call it the right way though.
She is going to start calling it
Yeah,
the right
she's gonna. I'll be the only one calling
Yeah.
it in Spanish. Jerry, it's chicharrón de pollo. And
Actually,
she'll probably say it with an accent.
yeah.
That's
so-
me saying it my way.
Yeah, she's actually more engulfed in it. Like,
Oh, she was at
So-
the event. She was swagged down for the Puerto Rico event.
she had her flag, her shirt.
Yeah,
and
like I said, all I had.
No,
another-
she's even when we were down on the island. She
Oh, I
was
have
there
that.
with us. She bought her Puerto Rican bikini.
Yes.
She bought her Puerto Rican cover up. She's in there.
Yeah.
And she's loving it.
Yeah. And she learned the difference.
No,
you know.
she learned to make sofrito.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you know what was amazing is she pointed out in the Midwest where there's this one thing where they think Spanish is everything. There's one
Yes.
Spanish
So my niece's partner is from the Midwest.
Midwest, and everybody's either just Spanish or Hispanic, whatever, or Mexican.
Yeah.
And she learned that, wow, there is a separation
Yes.
of all types of Spanish. She was like, Spanish food, Puerto Rican food is way different than Mexican food,
Yeah.
and there's even some differences even in Dominican food.
Yes. She's
So
learned that little
she
by
really
little.
learned
Yeah.
that. She was like, wow, we just didn't realize it. We just thought, you know, it's all the same. It's
Yeah.
it's you know, it's like, no, it's there's you know, there's differences.
No, she's really absorbed, and she loves going to the island. They've been together for a while. They've already been to the island three times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been to the island 3 times since they've been together.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, if they could, they would get a condo down there.
yeah, oh, she said it. She goes, I love coming to the island. She says, I love it here. She says, it smells different. It's like everybody's friendly. I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know, so
Nah, give it to her. She was swagged down there.
yeah. But when I go to their house, she's really into the Latin seasonings and spices.
Yeah?
Like I go in I live in their house in
And
the
again,
summer.
yeah, she's there for the whole summer.
I'm there with them in the
Well,
summer.
for the month of July.
Yeah.
So she, you know, that's really cool that she actually makes her own.
They make their own sofrito.
Yeah.
They grind their garlic. She actually does her. She's really into cooking. She mixes her own spices.
Yes.
She juices. You know.
Yeah,
I love being around Allie. So like she turned me on to a new thing, and which I eat it now a lot.
The chai.
It's a chia seeds with coconut, and I'm like, it tastes like a Spanish coquito, like pudding, because it's coconut milk, a little agave, and chia seeds, and I can eat that at least 3 times a week.
No, she's definitely
You know.
she's definitely you know more in tune with the Spanish seasonings and the
cooking
flavors
and everything.
And
I think she got him into that grill that you bought.
yes,
She's a big so
she's a big cooker. She's a griller. She got this grill. And I think I've talked about it already. It's called Royal Champion. It's
Yeah.
a different name, and it's half grill and half flat top. You know, griddle.
yeah.
I bought it because we have block parties and stuff like that, and I'm like, I already tested it out.
Yeah.
I may have said it already.
She's like
It's
every time
good.
we're with them, we teach them new stuff. They teach us new stuff. So when we were with them the other day, she's like, "Oh, I gotta go buy this and that and this and that to make my seasonings and all that." And we're like, "Oh,
No, she's yeah. So
she's into the whole spices and everything."
yeah, like I said, I didn't have I never had a good
Oh, and she said she's learning bachata for the wedding.
yes.
Which
Yeah.
I was like, "Get out!" She goes, "I want to learn bachata." I was like, "Oh,
Are they having Spanish food catered?
yeah." They're
Yeah.
even having cigars.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, this is gonna be an event. This is gonna be an event.
So
I'm excited. But yes, I give it to her. She's really, if we talk about spices,
Absorbed
she's
the-
absorbed the types of spices. The what do you call it?
the sofrito.
The sofrito.
She's learned how to do all of it, which I'm proud. Even our daughter has learned how to do it.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's great.
I told my daughter, you better learn. I said, if I catch you
That's
buying
one thing.
jarred sofrito
At my mom's
recaito,
house?
yeah, I'm like, you're gonna have a problem. I was like, you don't buy that stuff. Come to me, I'll make it for you, or I will teach you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a no in my
When
house.
you come over, we make it together. She said.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't buy that jarred stuff.
but I tell you one thing though,
Even-
adobo does taste good on a burger.
It does, but that's a lot of sodium. Actually, we
It's a
started
lot
buying
of
the low sodium one.
We buy no, but usually now when we make the burgers, it's salt and pepper. We use a different seasonings. We used to buy a McCormick one. They don't make it anymore. A lot of guys just kind of read up the recipe of what McCormick was doing and just have it in all these
mix
separate
it
containers,
themselves.
and then they blend it together and they just have it. Which that's something I want to start doing. But
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Also,
this summer I'm gonna make some adobo burgers.
I'll buy you some low sodium adobo burger.
Yeah.
But I was gonna tell you, you know who else I've converted also because my best friend who is Irish, she is full blown Irish.
She's a converter. She grew up. She was hanging out with the head.
She used to buy the jar.
Oh, she used to buy it. Okay.
We started hanging out because I used to cook at her house for her. She used to buy the jarred Goya, recaito, and sofrito, and I was like, one day I went to her house. I was like, as I threw it in the garbage, she goes, "Why are you throwing it out?" I'm like, "This is garbage." She was like, "But I'm using that." I was like, "I know you cook like us, but this is not us." So I threw it out. Yeah. And I had to buy the real stuff or ask me for it. So
I'll come over one day and learn how to make it.
So she buys the real stuff now. Yeah. She buys the refrigerated sofrito. Yeah. But if I have extra, she comes and takes it.
Yeah.
No, so that's another person I've converted. And people always like, she's Spanish. I'm like, my best friend.
She talks fluent Spanish too.
My best friend will fool anybody.
Like I was walking around that day for the Spanish Harlem Festival, and people would talk to me in Spanish, and I was like, I wasn't ready. Yeah. Because sometimes I could translate if I'm ready.
But if it's too fast, no.
If you just blah blah blah, and I wasn't. Nah. I'm sorry. What did you say again?
Yeah. No, she speaks full blown Spanish. Yeah. She can fool anybody. You could think.
If she's on the phone, there's no doubt about it. You wouldn't think.
And we're cooking too.
Yeah.
She's gotten really good. And I always tell people, my best friend's Irish, but she could fool you, make you think she's a Puerto Rican or Dominican. Yeah. And she sounds like a Dominican or Puerto Rican talking. So. All
right.
So guys, I think we've kept you enough. I stand by my spices.
Hey, listen, I like adobo. We had it in my house, so we didn't have the other stuff, but we had adobo. So I think maybe while you're away this week, we got some hamburgers. I'm gonna sprinkle some adobo on those hamburgers.
Oh, that's right. I reminded you guys. You guys have frozen burgers in the freezer. Yeah. I'm gonna be off doing my girl stuff. So guys, peace out. Follow us. Give us your opinion. You know how it is.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.